Well, I am so lucky to have known my father. My father was born in Brooklyn in 1932. My grandfather, Maria Bartiromo, came to this country in 1906 and built a restaurant literally with his hands. He was a bricklayer in Italy. He named it the Rex Tavern after the ship the Rex, which transported Italians from Italy to America, and then eventually changed the name from the Rex Tavern to the Rex Manor. And then my father ended up running that restaurant and spent a lifetime there just working hard and raising a family. My dad was always a jolly guy. He was a little overweight. He was sweet to everyone. My mother always said that my father's voice was like an opera singer. And we always thought maybe he could be an opera singer too, because his voice was strong and loud, but refined. He loved baseball, for sure. He loved the Dodgers. And he would only call them the Brooklyn Dodgers, even after they moved to become the LA Dodgers. My father, when he was in the Army, met Willie Mays. Willie Mays used to call him Brooklyn. And so that was his nickname within the house because Willie Mays called him Brooklyn. He would always have a button-down shirt with a pocket on the left side where he would keep his pen and pad, as if he had real important work and notes to take. And he was in the kitchen a lot, so he was also in whites all the time. He loved Italian food. He was an excellent chef, pizza and calzones. And sometimes I would call the restaurant and say, "Oh, Dad, can you please bring me home VCP?" Veal cutlet parmesan was another favorite. I remember I walked in on him one day. He was taking out his 13th cheesecake of the day that he had made. It was a big business, and he never got stressed out, even though he was running this incredible restaurant with 2 catering halls, a huge pizza oven, and a huge bar, an enormous staff, and yet everything he took in stride. Then he would come home and be there for us if we needed. My mom and dad were very, very hard workers. He always said there are no shortcuts. It will be your responsibility to prove to others that you can do the job, handle the job, lead, and do it well. Even though my dad worked incredibly hard, his number one most favorite thing in the world was his family, and so he kept us close. Luckily, he gave me my first job. I was the coat check girl at the Rex Manor. My sister was a hostess. My mom would help. My brother was a waiter. We were all there at the restaurant. I remember as a girl, I would go to the Rex with him when he would do the books. And I never really knew what that meant. I have to go do the books, he would say. And he would go every Monday. So I would go with my dad, and I remember just, sliding on the floors, going into the dining room, checking everything out while he was sitting at a big dining room table with his calculator, doing the books. And I think that really planted the seed for me. And I think that is why I ended up going down to the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, to be in the middle of everything and to cover business. My father had an enormous, outsized influence on my life, from setting the tone of understanding business to doing the right thing as a girl. I mean, my father would never allow me to take car service. He would have to drive me everywhere. And he could have been in the middle of work, but I had to go somewhere at night with friends, and he had to drive me. He would leave the restaurant, come, drive me, go back. He always made it a point to make sure that he was setting the tone for the family in the most positive way possible. My mom and my father were both really avid followers of horse racing. He wasn't a big gambler at all, but he would put a few dollars on horses and loved to follow the races. And I think that was another reason he needed his pen, because he would circle things in the newspaper the next day about the horses who won and the races that he was watching. And I'll never forget, one day I got a call from a jockey who named their horse after me. It was Bartiromo, the horse. And I called my dad about it, and he was over the moon. He told all his friends that there was a horse named Bartiromo, and it was running, and it would win, and it did win, actually. My father was a shy man, but my father was always incredibly supportive of me, and I knew that he loved me so much. I mean, my parents did an incredible job for me, I believe, because they showered me with love. Not material goods, not presents, but support. My father was so proud of me and my career. He really was. And, I remember he used to ask me for headshots for his friends at pork stores. And I'll never forget, one day I went back to Brooklyn to check in with my family. My mom said, oh, we want to go pick something up from the pork store. And I said, okay, so I'll drive you. As soon as I walked in, behind the counter where all the meats were, was there, front and center, an 8x10 of my picture. And I said to my dad, Dad, you are going to make me famous one pork store at a time. He wasn't a well-traveled person. I sent him to Italy for the first time. He was very often at home in Brooklyn with his family. He used to say things like, you're going here, you're going there, you know, I can't go to Coney Island. It was just his way of talking and his style. He was always worried about me, and he would say, you know, don't let Mom worry, we're worried about you, come home. I can't go to Coney Island, and you're on this island and that island. He definitely did have his own way of saying things. I think I learned so much about myself from my dad, and I think it starts with what a family girl I am. But when my mom and dad were in their 70s, I remember calling and saying, how are you guys doing? What's going on? And my mother said to me, well, Dad and I just finished having a very important conversation. And I said, well, about what? And she said, we both decided that from now on, we're going everywhere together. No matter what happens, we want to go together. And I said, okay, absolutely, Mom. They did not want to leave each other. They went everywhere together, and even if he wanted to go to the store and pick up milk or something, my mom would go with him. They really were best friends. My father knew that his time was near to be leaving us. I said to him, Dad, is there anything that I can do or anything that you want me to make sure to get at the house? And he said, yes. He said, go in my third drawer in my bureau, get the Army tags. I want you to have them. So I wear my father's Army tags a lot. They have his name on them and his number from the Army and a key to his locker. And I wear those Army tags on the air with pride. When my father first died in 2022, I kept waiting and waiting and waiting for him to come to me. Time went on, and all of a sudden I was sleeping one night, and he came to me that night. And I was in my bed, and I remember he walked in. He had one of his favorite shirts on, a button-down shirt, blue shirt with the pocket, and he had his pen in his pocket. And he walked into my bedroom. And I said, Dad, oh my God. And I rushed out of bed, and I gave him a huge hug. And he wanted me to know that he was resting and he was okay, and to remind me to take care of Mom. And that's what I did. As I look back, I'm so grateful that I was sort of open with my emotions. And I got the whole family to start saying, I love you all the time, because I kept saying, I love you. And my dad was shy. He didn't say it initially. And I had to keep saying it, and then he started saying it. So I feel really good about the way that I treated my dad, and I have no regrets. I think losing my father opened my eyes to how short life really is. And we say it all the time as a throwaway line, but it really is that short. And I do, ever since he died, try to take things less seriously. I started off by telling you he used to let everything roll off his back. And I made a commitment after he died to try to do more of that, because I take things very seriously. I mean, it's work, it's family, it's life, you take it seriously. When he died, I tried to promise myself that I would be more like my father in that regard, and in many ways, going forward. My name is Maria, and I'm one of the lucky ones.